Hi, welcome back to Live and Breathe Horses at Centre Equestre La Luce, and we're going on with our Words of Wisdom series and this wonderful book, The Classical Principles of the Art of Training Horses. So today we're talking about the departure to canter. There's a lot of information in here. So basically we first asked for the canter as just a very simple, light, soft transition, and just allowed the horse to go into his natural canter and almost use that as a relaxation exercise. So when we've done all the previous preparation of the lateral work that we've talked about on the previous episodes, the horse is then ready to start to go towards more a collected canter. So most riders begin straight away, the beginnings of the departure from walk to canter. And it's easier for the horse through the transition from a very collected trot. And out of the collected trot, we try to achieve several strides of collected canter. So of course what we get comes from what's before, If we're in a very nice soft collected trot, we can get a very nice soft collected canter or a few strides of. So it's to go very progressively. And as soon as we get a few strides, back to a free walk and a long rein. And we can then proceed to asking from a canter back to a collected trot. And then little by little, we can go on and practice with all our lateral work at trot as preparation. So, and really, marking the age. So that transition from the collected trot to canter and back becomes very fluid and very easy before we start to ask for the walk. Transitions, and be very attentive. He's telling about the rider's back and chest, so be very attentive to the rider's body. And then he advises starting the ones from walk with from a shoulder in position, just to keep the hindquarters more under control, and to be very attentive to the lightness in these transitions. The canter-walk transition, he says here, is the secret for the success of the flying changes later on. So when we can do the transitions, walk, canter, everywhere around the arena very easily, it's then time to ask for the departure to counter canter. And he advises doing that in a half pass. So to half pass in a collected trot towards the wall, and just before you get to the wall or the fence, to go into ask for the transition to counter canter. Of course, because you're going across that way, aren't you? And then you'll be half pass across. So you would be on the opposite, the wrong leg. And into counter canter, and to come back before the first corner. And when that's very easy, take the first corner. And when that gets very easy, then to take the next corner also in counter canter. And then to take the diagonal. So in between these, always coming back to a soft walk. But when we can take the diagonal, then we can come back to walk, give the reins, and let the horse stretch out. As he's come off the counter canter onto the diagonal, it would be the moment we'd almost be going back to a true canter. So he's talking about the importance, as always, of lots of rewards in between with the long reins to keep the horse correct by always coming back to doing some lateral work, our little shoulder in, quarter in exercises, maybe some rein back, just to keep him balanced and correct in his movements. So let's see, where are we? Oh, and then going on. So when we've got the counter canter transitions easy all around the arena, then we can go on and start the half pass, would be the next stage in the progression here. And he just talks here about the half pass. To remember, it's a bounce forward and sideways with the push from the hind legs. There's no idea of sliding across, and no weight on the inside shoulder. And so when the horse easily executes the half pass from the centre line towards the long side, we can then ask the half pass from the beginning of the long side back to the centre line. And making sure, as you did at walk and trot, to pass the corner at the beginning of the long side in the position of shoulder in. So you see that foundation we put right in the beginning of the exercises, how each corner was a moment of shoulder in. So of course if we can ride that corner in a correct shoulder in position, we set our horse up perfectly to be able to execute that half pass. Yeah, wonderful stuff. So yeah, the next stage would be once you've correctly established the shoulder in at walk and trot, the horse is ready to do a canter shoulder in position. So again, it's just progressively a couple of strides and come back and reward, a couple of strides, taking it little by little. And when he can maintain the shoulder in along the long side, we can pass the corner, in shoulder in, come down the centre line, and then shoulder in to the half pass at a canter towards the wall. So just always building it up little by little by little. So in the travers at the canter, we can also begin on the long side, having passed the corner in a position of shoulder in. So we're setting the horse up if we're coming around the corner and shoulder in, and then we can ask for travers also at canter coming down the wall. And when he can maintain this easily, then we can start to ask it in large circles, at least 20 metres to begin with, and then progressively we can make the circles smaller. And ask without force, of course. So the end here of this chapter, we've established through these exercises the collection of the canter. The shortening of the canter has been made very progressively, and the horse, keeping his weight on his haunches without losing his balance, can lengthen and shorten the canter. He can turn, he can half pass, and he can halt easily. So there we have the beginnings of the flying changes and the pirouettes. So all the lateral work at canter, you know, at the half pass and the shoulder in and the travers, we then with that practice come back to walk, and it's all that that prepares the horse then to be able to come from canter directly back to the halt. So yes, we'll be practicing all that for a long time to get that lot right. So anyway, thank you for being with me today. I hope some of that inspired you to step up and try for greater things. Even if we never get there, it's the journey that matters, you know, and I think doing it like this, we learn so much along the way and give our horse the best chance of success. So thank you for being with me today. Keep tuning into the light, and we'll see you next time.